Right before powering off her desk radio, the news came through about how much snow was falling. Turns out, it's a blizzard. What? The roads are closed. Alicia screamed. We have to stay here, she shouted. She ran to the other end of the office and back again in disbelief. It was a ghost town. Everyone was gone. Alicia and Nicholas were the only ones left in the building. She tried to make calls out, but the phone lines were now down. This is unbelievable, she screamed again. Calm down, Alicia, Nicholas said. We'll be okay. Alicia rolled her eyes. The very time she finally decided to get some overtime in, this happens. Nicholas continues to try and calm her. Let's go raid the break room, fridge and pantry, he said. Alicia sat there for a moment. She began to think and said, great idea. I forgot, there are leftovers from today's meeting. We should do it. We are stuck here. We'll tell them we had to eat to survive, Alicia laughed as she followed Nicholas into the break room. They giggled and went to work tearing into almost all of what was left in the refrigerator. The company only orders from the best, most reputable places when they are trying to impress department heads in the quarterly meetings. There was meat, pasta, fruit, salad, and even a little cake left over from the meeting. The two of them literally got full as a tick. Nicholas and Alicia sat and talked, did imitations, and made length of time predictions about mostly all the newly hired coworkers until tears were rolling down their eyes with laughter. There were some characters in the company. The office is so diverse with so many different personalities. Makes for an interesting atmosphere. After cleaning the break room once they ate everything in sight, they began to wonder what to do next. This blizzard has them locked in. Who knows how long they will be stuck in this building? Well, I'm going to head back to my office. Nicholas decided to bury himself in more work. I am still stuffed, Alicia said. She, however, had other plans. I am going to try and walk it off, she said. Okay, yell if you need me, said Nicholas. I will, said Alicia. She had been putting in so much overtime, Alicia was not thinking about doing more work right now. No one was there but them, and it was her intention to get answers to her most pressing, nosy questions or information gathering, she thought to call it. Although gigantic, most of the time, employees were only limited to a small part of this property. Huge blizzard, no one in charge, a perfect time to snoop around. Walking, peeking, whoa, finding a great deal out about different colleagues. Some messy offices. Some extremely neat offices. A lot of beautiful family pictures, knick-knack collectors, and health-conscious employees. Alicia was always super busy, she never knew it, so interesting. Alicia continued her adventure of nosiness, or information gathering, LOL. Walking, peeking. Just think, Alicia was having a meltdown when finding out she would be locked in. Who knew being stuck here during this blizzard would turn out not to be so bad? Nosy people live for these opportunities. Alicia smiled, walked, and peeked. This is getting quite exciting because she is getting closer to the area that she has been dying to find out about. This is just a printing agency, and the employees here are kind of close, like family, but there are 2 rooms that are of great interest to her. Those doors are marked authorized personnel only. No explanation is ever given as to why. There was a time many people thought, maybe it is possible that it may be nothing. Hopefully, she will get to see. There, however, is this one department head, Mr. Rob, he is the one that we were just imitating. Mr. Rob would always act visibly strange whenever someone inquired about what was in those rooms. He would start sweating, stuttering, looking around, and would just get so nervous every time. What is so top secret about those rooms? What are they hiding? Why is it that the contents of that room are never revealed? Alicia thought. This is absolutely the perfect time to find out. She finally made it to one of the doors. Of course, it is locked. Alicia is determined. She is going to hunt for the very keys to gain entry. It has been years of wondering. Ever since the day when she saw the reactions of some of the department heads, especially Mr. Rob. Alicia began to eyeball Mr. Rob's office. His office door open. She goes in and takes a seat in his big office chair. Alicia wanted to become one with Mr. Rob's thought process. Where would Rob put those keys, she thought. She sat there and kept looking around the office. Alicia jumped up and began looking under everything that she could lift, nothing. Getting kind of aggravated, she was not thinking of giving up. She walked over to the shelf that was loaded with books and two strange-looking, large knickknacks. Her eyes became fixated on the one in the top left corner. Alicia grabbed hold of it, lifted the top, and began smiling from ear to ear. There were two keys inside with tags attached. One with a code and DR number 1, and the other a code and DR number 2. OMG, is this it? Alicia said to herself. I bet this is it. She put her hands over her mouth. At this moment, she was both excited and scared at the same time. Alicia walked slowly to the first door to try DR number 1. It was turning. OMG, it's turning, she said. Alicia opened the door, opened eyes extremely wide and yelled so loud. Nicholas. Nicholas came running down the hall. What's wrong? What happened? He said, totally out of breath. Nicholas stood and looked in amazement alongside Alicia. Wow. They both said in unison. The entire room was filled with counterfeit money. There was a whole operation, an illegal operation. Rows and rows of money drying. Stacks of fake bills in every denomination. More of the same behind DR number 2 with two big machines in addition. Alicia turned to Nicholas and said, Blizzard shut-in leads to cover up. Nicholas shakes his head in disbelief and said, who knew?